We already finished the class on probabilities. Okay, what are we going to do today? Well, we're going to go over the material. Okay, and but I'm trying to focus on one topic each time. Okay, so it's not just a review. Maybe we're going to learn more, a little more. Okay. Then late you're going to get a homework assignment. This time you're going to have more homework problems to do, not only 15. Okay. So the first problem I want to discuss, I hope you still remember, okay, is a linear equation to solve the equations. So we're going to record the problem, how to solve that, right? If we have a 2 minus 3, 1 minus x, remember, how do you solve the equation like 3x, 3x plus, well, I'm going to put a negative sign here, okay? So this is just a linear equation, okay? But be careful when you do the computation, okay? So you have to step by step and remove the parentheses first. Okay, remove the parentheses first. They get 2 minus 3. You multiply this up, it'll be 3x. Okay, so the left hand side, right hand side, they're both, you simplify the left hand side first. -1 plus 3x. Then you regroup them. Okay, so -1 should move to the right hand side, -3x move to the right hand side, be 3x plus 3x, and here's 1. So it'll be 6x equals 1, x equals 106. Okay, so everybody can do this, no question. Then, but how about you have 2 variables? Okay, for example, if x plus y equals 6, okay? And another equation, x minus y equals -1. Okay, let's use the -4, okay? So now you have 2 variables. They are related by 2 equations. X plus y equals 6, x minus y equals -4. Okay, why we have to do problems like that? Suppose, I'll give you a story problem, okay? So if you have 2 variables, how do you do that? Yeah. So you write down those 2 equations in the vertical form, and then label them equation 1 and equation 2. So the idea we're going to use is to eliminate one of the variables to get equation in one variable. So how to do that? There are 2 ways to solve the problem. One is called substitution. Another one is called elimination. But for this particular problems, elimination method is maybe better. So just eliminate one variable directly, and the equation 1 plus equation 2. Okay? So now if you add them together, you will get 2x equals 6 minus 4 is 2. So from here you get x equals 1. Now once they get x equals 1, you can use any of the equation to get to y. And the 1 plus y equals 6, then y is going to be 5, okay? Okay. But sometimes you're only given one equation, okay? Let me ask you to do another problem first, okay? So x plus 2y equals 3, okay? And 2x plus y equals 6, okay? Find the value of x plus y. X equals 5, y equals 1. All right, so how do you solve this problem? There are 2 different ways to solve. A direct way and a quick shortcut, and also step by step. If you find the x and you find the y, then add them together, right? So let's do this way, okay? Okay, so I can this time I'm using called substitution method. So by the first equation, I know x equals 3 minus 2y. Okay, right? You move 2y to the right hand side. Then you plug into the second equation. So 2 in the place of x, you put 3 minus 2y, then plus y equals 6, right? Then let's simplify. They get equation one variable. So you get 2 times 3 is 6, minus 4y, plus y equals 6. Okay, then you will see that, be careful, right? If there are computation mistakes, you answer to the wrong. Okay, so you will get y equals 0. Okay, because it's 6 minus 3y equals 6. 6 cancelled out. Y is going to be 0. Okay, so if y is 0, then it implies x is going to be 3 minus y. So 3 minus 2y, so it's 3. When you get an answer, you should double check whether it matches with the second equation. Okay, 2x plus y, 2 times 3 plus 0 equals 6. Yes. Okay, so the answer is x plus y equals 3 plus 0, and that gives 3. Right? So you get answer for the value of x plus y, but through the values of x and using x and y. But there's a quick way to do. Okay, the quick way to do is, let's go back to the equation x plus 2y. The equation, 2y equals 3, and the 2x plus y equals 6. So you just add them together. Equation 1 plus equation 2. You get 3x plus 3y equals 9. So how to get x plus y? Just to divide by 3 both sides. So x plus y is 9 over 3, which is 3. So you don't need to find the value of x and find the value of y. Okay? And sometimes you are not able to find x and y. Okay? For example, you only have one equation. Negative 3x minus 7 equals 3 plus 2y. Okay? Okay? My question is, what is the value of 9x minus 6y? So you have two unknowns that satisfy the above equation. They're related by this equation. But just only one equation, you are not able to get the value of x, get the value of y. So you cannot use the value of x and value of y and to find the value of 9x minus 6y. What you can do is you modify the first equation, and to get 9x minus 6y. Because 9x minus 6y, if the common fact, if you take it out, is going to be 3x minus 2y. Okay, all you need to know is 3x minus 2y, what is valid. And you look at the above equation. Okay, so about this equation, 3x minus 2y equals 3 minus plus 7. Okay, move 7 to the right hand side. So you can get 10. So that is 10. So the answer will be, this implies 9x minus 6y equals 3 times 10. It's going to be 30. Can you find x and y? No. But you're still able to find 9x minus 6y. Okay. The next problem is a brand new problem. It involves 3 variables. But if you get an idea, you should be able to solve it. So you have 3 variables unknown. They are satisfying the 3 equations. Okay, and the last one will be x plus y minus z equals negative 4. So what is the value of x plus y plus z? Okay. So now you have 3 equations, 3 unknowns. They are related by the 3 equations. Okay, you probably able to solve for x and y step by step. Then add them together. You get the value of x plus y plus z. But is there any other way, bypassing finding the values of x, each individual variable, can you still get x plus y plus z? Okay. So we'll get several answers. Most of them are answers 2, right? So you can, yeah. I think you just add those 3 equations together to see if you can get quicker. So add them together. What you get is you get 4x, and they have 3y plus y, have a 4y, and the 5z minus z, you get 4z. Okay, and here's 1 plus 11 minus 4, so 12 minus 4 is going to be 8. Then you divide both sides by 4, you get, it's going to be 2. All right, and so those are called the linear equations, and then our next topic is to focus on the inequality. Okay, so the inequality, how do you solve the inequality? It's a similar way. Okay, the only be careful is when you divide the inequality by a negative number, you have to change the reverse order of the inequality. Okay, so here 2x minus 4 less than equal to 3x. Okay, so solving inequality is similar to solving equality, but be careful when you divide the same inequality by a negative number, you have to change the direction of the inequality. So it's up to you whether you want to move 3x to the left or 2x to the right. So that's 2 different ways to do 3x. If you move 2x to the right hand side, x is on the right hand side, right? But you have to change the sign. Yeah, so it's -4 less than x, then you're done. But traditionally, it's the same as x greater than -4, okay? So that is the solution, x greater than -4. But you can also do the problem in the following way. 2x minus 4 less than 3x, right? And just like a solving equation. So you move 3x to the left, x4 to the right-hand side. So 2x minus 3x. and less than equal 4, less than 4, right? When you move a term across the inequality, you change the sign. It's like move a number, a term to across the equality. You have to change the sign. Now you get a negative x less than 4, okay? Right. So the key point is if you multiply or divide by a negative number, you have to change the direction in equality. Negative x times negative 1 is positive x and greater than a negative 4. Okay. So you have, this is a place you have to be very careful. If you forget it and you totally get a wrong answer. Okay. So there's a similarity, and there's a difference between the solving equations and solving inequalities. Okay. My next question is, what is the least integer for which 3x minus 7 greater than 24? Yeah, the integer actually here is x, okay? So x is the integer satisfying this inequality. Okay, you find the smallest, the least integer x for which 3x minus 7 greater than 24. Okay? First of all, just solve the inequality, right? Trying to solve the inequality. How do you solve it? It's linear. This is algebra, right? Jonathan, did you study this in school already?
What?
Inequality. 早就读过了. Okay, good.
I suppose I do you just finished algebraic expressions.
Right? But the problem itself is slightly different. You see, find the list as the smallest integer, x satisfying this inequality. So Kathleen says 11. Okay, so let's do this. Just solve the inequality first, right? So you move 7 to the right hand side, you get 31, right? Then x is greater than 31 divided by 3. 31 divided by 3 is going to be, 31, it's going to be 10 points, right? And then maybe 3, it's never end. All right, you have an integer which is greater than 10.333, right? What is the smallest integer greater than that number? 11. So the answer is, x equals 11, not that number, okay? Because 11 is the smallest integer greater than equal to that number. Forgot this?
I forgot the word up there. I did not read it. I just saw it.
Okay. So are you familiar with the two inequalities? Okay. So here's going to be 1 minus 3x less than equal to 4, greater than equal to negative 2. Okay. And solve this inequality. Now I have the actual two inequalities here. This two inequality is combined into one. Actually, it's going to be x is actually you have this two inequality, and the same x should satisfy another inequality. That's two inequalities combined into one. Okay? Because 1 minus 3x is the same term, so which is greater than negative 2, less than or equal to 4. So that's why you can put them together. Essentially, there are two inequalities, but you put the end. Okay, end means x satisfies both inequalities. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at. Let's solve the first one on the left-hand side. And you move 1 to the left-hand side, -3 greater than or equal to -3x, right? And this side will be 4 minus 1 is going to be 3. Okay. Now be careful, both sides you have to divide by -3, right? When you divide by -3, you have to change the direction when you're encoding. -3 divided by -3 is 1, greater than or equal to -3x divided by -3 is just x. And here, -3x divided by -3 is just x, greater than or equal to 3 divided by -3 is -1. So now you have, yes, this two can be combined, 1 greater than or equal to x, greater than -1. Right? Or x is greater than, when -1 is less than or equal to x, less than or equal to 1. So x is between negative and positive. So my next question is, find all integers x satisfies the following inequality: 3x minus 5 less than or equal to 12, greater than or equal to -12.
That's why 2/3 is less than x.
Yeah, you have to determine all the integers, right? So you can separate into two inequalities, -12 less than or equal to 3x minus 5. But after a while, you probably can do the same. You don't need to repeat it, right? 3x minus 5, right? So you both, put the end here. Both must hold at the same time. All right, let's look at the left side. Okay, -12 plus 5 less than or equal to 3x, right? Move -3 to the left-hand side. And that will be -7, right? Yeah, -7. And this will be -7 over 3 less than or equal to x, okay? And here 3x less than or equal to 12 plus 5, which is 17. Right? So x is less than or equal to 17 over 3. All right, so we have to be careful about this. And here it's -2 point something something less than or equal to x. And this side is going to be 5 point something something, right? Okay, so we have an integer must be between those two numbers. So clearly x starts from -1, not a negative. No, negative. Yeah, sorry. So x is between it must start from -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because -2 is greater than -2 points. Okay. So those are the integers satisfying the above encoding. Now, what's the meaning of 3x minus 5 less than or equal to 12? You know, this inequality, okay? Okay, this inequality represents something. This represents an interval on the coordinate line. Okay. 17 over 3 is going to be 5 and 3 over 2, right? And this one will be negative 2 and 1/3. Okay, so let's describe this inequality as a coordinate line. Find the 2 and 3. So you divide them into 3 parts. 2 and 3 is here, right? And the negative 2 and 1/2, 1/3. I think this is the point. Okay, so x is between those two, and clearly negative 2, negative 1, 0, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are all included. Okay. Got it? All right, my question. What is a midpoint? Can you give me the coordinate? The midpoint between negative 7 over 3 and 17 over 3. What is the coordinate of the midpoint? Do you remember this thing coordinate geometry, right? How to find the midpoint? Somewhere here, right? Somewhere here. It's middle. Well, there are a couple ways to do this problem. Okay, a midpoint, so-called midpoint. If this coordinates, right, then the coordinate of the midpoint, then the distance between those 2 points should be equal to the distance between those 2 points, right? So that means x minus negative 7 over 3 should be equal to 17 over 3 minus x, because this is a 17 over 3, this is a negative 7 over 3. Okay. So that's why you move this to the right hand side and move x to the left, and 2x equals 17 over 3 minus 7 over 3. Okay. So it's going to be 10 over 3. So x is going to be 5 over 3. But you can do that directly. Here's this idea shows you how to find the midpoint formula. Okay? If you have line here, and this is a A, this is a B, that midpoint formula, x bar equals half of A plus B. Now why A plus B divided by 2 is a coordinate of the midpoint? Because I already told you that this should be equal to that, right? So the distance between those 2 points will be x bar minus A, right? The distance between B x bar and x and the B and the x bar is going to be B minus X. So from here, if you move this together, you get 2x bar equals A plus B, and that's why this gives the formula of that. Okay, divided by 2. Yeah. All right. All right, so now let me ask you to the following problem. What number lies at the midpoint of the segment on the coordinate line, okay, which is given by 2x plus 3 less than or equal to 5 rather than -5. So step 1, you have to describe the segment set given by this inequality. Then you find the midpoint. What's the answer? -1, -3/2. Looks like a -3/2, right? Maybe we can derive the formula like that, okay? Okay, so you have to solve the equation, right? So you're going to get -5 minus 3. You know, let me separate. So this one will be -5 minus 3 less than 2x. So -8 less than or equal to x. -4 less than or equal to x. Okay, this will be 2x less than or equal to 5 minus 3. X is less than or equal to 1. Okay, so you are actually this is 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. And look at this picture, and clearly this will be the midpoint, right? And from the picture, you can see that will be -1.5. Okay, so to do that, you get x bar, right? It's going to be 1 plus -4 divided by 2, -3/2.
Yeah, I got it right.
Maybe you don't need to solve this equation. You can directly solve 2x plus 3 equals 0, gives the midpoint. Let's derive the formula, right? So suppose you have equation. I'm going to put, let's use the -h, right? ax plus b greater than h, right? Think about that. So the midpoint probably is independent of h. It's possible. Here, I have to assume that a is positive, okay? Because otherwise, I have a trouble. Yeah. So you look at point here is -h, less than 2x, ax plus b, right? Then you divide by a. So this will be the answer on the one side. The other side is ax plus b less than h. So ax less than h minus b, and x is less than h minus b divided by a. The reason you don't change the inequality because I already assumed that the direction inequality already assumed that a is positive. All right, so now the x is between those two numbers. So the middle point is going to be the half of those two numbers divided by 2. Right? But after you simplify it, you will get h is gone. Okay? You will get like a here, negative h, negative b, plus h minus b, h is gone. And you got negative 2b over a divided by 2. So the answer would be negative b over a. Okay? So then you just, this is coming from the solution ax plus b equals 0. It's nothing to do with h. Okay? Okay? So a good student will be doing like that. Suppose you did a problem several times. You find out if I do not change it at 2x plus 3, I only change it 5 to 6 to 7. You get the same answer. So then you will be wondering, okay, then you will be wondering whether this solution is independent of the of 5, and you prove that. Okay, you just assume the general case, and then you calculate. Then you find out the middle point is given by negative b over a, which is just a solution of ax plus b. All right, so let me talk about this is the meaning of this one. This is absolute value x, right? And then everybody knows the definition. If you're given this is going to be 2, right? And that's still 4. Just drop the negative sign. But if x is negative, how can I drop the absolute value symbol? Okay. So if x is negative, okay, what is this without the absolute value symbol? No, if x is negative. Yeah, it will be negative x. Right. Why? If you look at that, negative 2 is going to be negative.
Just put a negative outside of the.
Yeah, that's right. Because x here, negative x is the negative side is invisible. Just invisible. How to get rid of that? You have to put a visible negative sign in front of x. So negative becomes positive. Okay? So that's why. Okay? So yeah, the geometric meaning of absolute value is going to be the distance between x and 0. Okay, x could be on the left hand side, could be on the right hand side. Okay, so if so this is 0, this could be x, or on the right hand side. Okay, the absolute value. Yeah, and a minus b is the distance, absolute is distance between the point with the coordinate a and b. Right? It doesn't matter which a is on the left hand or right hand side, because when you take absolute value symbol, you get rid of the negative sign. Okay, so the picture here is here's a, here's b. So that is the distance. Okay, a minus b actually in this case is negative, but absolute value is going to be positive. Yes. All right, so absolute x is less than 2. What is the meaning of that? The meaning is going to be, so all the points with a distance from the 0 the distance between 0 origin and that x is less than 2. Okay, if here is 2. So x could be here, could be there. So that's why if you remove the absolute symbol, this really means equivalent to saying that x is less than 2 greater than negative 2. All right, so the one single inequality becomes a two inequality if you remove the absolute symbol. And just because if any x between negative 2 and positive 2, the distance between the x and the origin is always less than 2. Okay? So we can use that to solve the inequalities. For example, this is less than 2. What's the geometric meaning of that? The geometric meaning of this is going to be all the x, okay? And here's the 1, has a distance between x and the 1, the distance is less than 2. So it's going to be like that, any points in its neighborhood. So this will be negative 2, here 2, here be 3. So my answer is x is between negative 1 and 3. Okay? Yeah, any x here, the distance between x and the 1 is less than 2. Because this is going to be 2. This is going to be 2. So I should draw the picture. Yeah, so any x. X could be negative, could be positive. Right? How do you solve this problem in another way? If you remove the approximatory symbol, and then x minus 1 is less than 2, greater than negative 2, right? That's the first step. And from here, you solve for x, okay? You can move negative x to the left, at the same time move it to the right hand side. So negative 1, negative 2 plus 1, and here 2 plus 1, so which is 3.
Excellent.
Yeah, let's do that. Solve the following inequality. Okay, can you do that? That's absolute symbol. You can do a couple ways. You can divide both sides by 2, so x plus 3 over 2 is less than or equal to 5 over 2, right? Now the geometric meaning of this is going to be x minus negative 3 over 2 is less than 5 over 2. So if you look at the picture, negative 2 over 3 is here. Negative 3 over 2. So this is my point. So the x with the distance between x and that point is less than or equal to 5 over 2. And then 5 over 2 is 2.5. I think it's somewhere here like that. Okay, so the distance here is 5 over 2, 5 over 2. That's one way to solve the inequality, okay? You just add the 5 over 2 to negative 3 over 2 and subtract the 5 over 2 from negative 3 over 2. And you get an integer. Okay. And that one is going to be negative 3 over 2 plus minus 5 over 2, which is going to be negative 8 over 2, which is negative 4. Okay, well, how to solve it in a slightly different way, not using the picture here. So what you do is 2x plus 3, absolute value of this less than or equal to 5. And this is equivalent to saying that, right, And from here, you can solve the inequalities. Okay, so you will get, yeah, we already did that, right? We did this before at the very beginning. Yeah, this is the solution, right? Right, you can simultaneously move 3 to the both sides, so -8, and that to be 2. So you divide both sides by 2, you will get this inequality. Yeah, there are some strange equations. Before I do discuss that, I have to discuss the exponential function. I know a times a times a, if you have n a, that's denoted by a to the power n, right? That's a notation. And there are some formulas here. So if what is 1 over n? 1 over n is the number x such that x to the power n equals a. Okay. So and x and a have the same sign. Right? If a is positive, x is positive. A is negative, x is negative. But that number is not always defined. For example, yeah, let's say look at this. This is going to be 2. Why? Because 2 squared equals 4, right? Yeah. But -4, this is undefined. Right? It is undefined. The reason is, no matter which number you're going to use, x squared equals -4 has no solution, because this cannot be negative for real numbers. No real solution. Okay, x, of course, later on you're going to study complex numbers, then it could possible. Okay, so x squared equals -4 is impossible, no solution. That's why it's undefined. Okay? There are formulas. A to the power n to the power m is going to be a to the n times n. Okay? There are also formulas like that. And a to the n over am is going to be a to the n minus a. So those are the formulas we use. The reason why this is true, look at the first one. Why is this true? Well, a squared and the cube, look at that. By definition, it's going to be a squared, a squared, a squared, right? That's 3 times. But a squared is a times a times a times a. So total you get 2 times 3, which is 6. So a to the 2 times 3, okay? So that's why you have the above formula, okay? Okay, so now let's look at the following equation. What value of n makes this equation? 2 to the 5th times 4 squared equals 8 to the power n. Yeah, make it true, okay? So you want to compare both sides. This is a strange equation. This is a strange equation. So you have to make sure it's the same, okay? 4 is going to be 2 squared. 8 is going to be 2 cubed. Okay, we know that, okay? So the left-hand side is 2 to the 5th times, right? 2 square and a square. 2 square and square is 2 times 2. Okay, it's going 2 to the 5th times 2 to the 4th power. Then you can combine them. 5 plus 4 is 2 to the 9th. Okay? And the 8 to the n is going to be 2 cubed to the power n. So it's going to be 2 to the 3n. Okay, then you compare both sides. So 3n equals 9. So that equals n equals 3. Okay, n equals 3. Next question. Now those are the math competition problems for 6th grade. Okay. Okay. So I discussed. Now from now on you're going to get more than 15 problems. I hope you find the time to finish it. My suggestion to you is, okay, I hope your parents keep the solution key away and you finish the first round. And some you cannot solve. Some you solve, but it was a mistake. So you check all the problems, which are mistakes. Okay, then which the answer is wrong. Then redo the problems. You make mistakes on that. There's those you cannot solve, problem still cannot solve. Then redo it. Some you can solve it. Some you still cannot solve. And then for those problems you cannot solve, you probably still you have the knowledge to solve, but you just don't have enough time, right? So you spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes trying to work hard, okay? And then if you still cannot solve it, I'm going to collect the list of the problems most of them cannot solve. And then I'm going to discuss in the next class. Then this is where we are going to improve our knowledge step by step, because I don't know each individual are quite different. Some students are good in this area, some good students in that area, okay? So this is what I'm going to do next step. Okay, so let's look at the problems. If 2 to the x to the 1/2 equals 16, what is the value of x? X is the integer, okay? Then that becomes quite easy if you understand, right? 16 is going to be 2 to the what power?
X equals 6.
2 to the 4th power, right? Okay, you compare both sides, and then 2x to the 1/2 is going to be 2 to the x times 1/2 will be x over 2. And was this supposed to be 2 to the 4th power? So what is x? 8. Yeah, half of this is going to be 4. So that implies x equals 8. Now, let me talk about the one homework problems from Andy. So this is problem number 9 from the previous homework. It says that the probability of a rain is 20% on Friday, 40% on Saturday, and 50% on Sunday. Expressed as a percent. What is the probability that there's no rain on any of these days? Okay, so that is, yeah, so the probability is rain is 20% on Friday, yeah, and 40% on Saturday, and then 50% on Sunday. Okay, what is the probability that there's no rain on any of these days? Okay. Grant says 0.96. Okay. So in order to make sure there's no rain on these days, on any of these days, so you have to see what is the probability no rain on Friday, right? So no rain. Okay, so no rain is 80% on Friday, right? And Saturday only 60%, and Sunday 50%. Okay, so this is called the productorium probability. I did not discuss in the class. I shouldn't put this problem here. So on Friday, 80% chance no rain, and 60% chance on Saturday no rain, right? And on Sunday 50% chance, 60%. So in order to make sure all of them, any of these days no rain, you have to do the product of this probability. Okay, so that will be yeah, if we express it in a decimal point, will be 0.8 times 0.6 times 0.5. Okay, this is called the product rule for probability. Okay, so you multiply this out, and the multiplication probably it's easy. This is 0.3, right? And then this will be 0.24. Okay, so I think the probability, you do the opposite the way. The probability there was no rain on any of the days, not on one of the days. Any of the days is very lower because every day there was a chance to rain. Okay, so this is yeah, this is the probability is going to be so you're talking about chapter 27. Probably two questions. Anyway, I don't have the problem here finally. Okay, let's stop here, and we can discuss next class. Okay, please give me the problem in advance so I can look at the problems first. Okay, so this is a yeah, you can send me by email. I prefer the email. Yeah, WeChat is just sometimes too many. When I click view it, then it's going down to the end, so I don't remember which one. Have questions there. Okay, email, I can look at the email quickly. So remember, you are going to get one set of exercises, probably 60 problems, and do as much as possible through the whole week. Okay, and I already gave you the instruction how to do that without to look at the answer key and go through all the problems, and then ask your parents or you check the problems by yourself and redo the problems. You are not able to get the right answer at the very beginning. Then you still cannot do that. And some parents can offer help, some parents cannot. But those parents cannot make offer help. Give me the list of the problems your child cannot solve and send it to me by email, okay? Before the class, one day before the class, okay? Not like 10 minutes before the class. I don't have a time to look at the email. Okay, thank you, bye.